It's always fun to see how games inspire creators to make other games. We end up getting games that have similar aesthetics, mechanics, or design from other games, but with unique spins. This opens up doors to new experiences that still manage to feel familiar. Today, I am going to talk to you about a game that takes inspiration from The Legend of Zelda and Wavetale and many other games and does its own thing. And I should add that this is the project of a single developer that has dedicated 12 years of developing this game. And that is quite impressive. Hi everyone, my name is Jeremy and this is my non-spoiler review for Zefyr, A Thief's Melody. This game was developed and published by Oneric Worlds, whose sole developer is Matthias Font Marty. So what's the story of this game? Zefyr, A Thief's Melody follows the story of Eiko, a young thief who sets out to investigate the kidnapping of a family member alongside other women. You will have to travel to different islands and fight pirates to find out the mystery behind this incident. The story of this game is told through dialogue, cutscenes, and documents that you find throughout the game. So let's talk about the visuals of this game. This game features some very beautiful visuals that have almost like an anime cartoony look to it, with vibrant colors and a cel-shaded finish. The world this game takes place in is similar to Wind Waker in the sense that it's divided by islands and a lot of ocean. The ocean effects look beautiful, very colorful, and feel very alive. And in general, the game has a very cartoony feel to it. In terms of performance, I will have to say that I did experience some screen tearing and some very unstable frame rate. In some instances, the frame rate fluctuated between the 30s and the 40s, and in other instances, the frame rate was higher. But keep in mind that I played the game before release, so this may be addressed with a patch. In terms of the music, all I can say is that it's very calm, relaxing, and atmospheric, and goes very well with the tropical setting that the game takes place in. So let's talk about the gameplay. Zefyr, A Thief's Melody is an adventure game with platforming, combat, puzzle solving, and sneaking mechanics. The objective of the game is to explore different areas to acquire maps, keys, and items to progress the story forward. You can jump, crouch, climb walls, run on walls, and fight using a pole. Like I mentioned before, the world of this game is very tropical and consists mostly of islands that you need to explore and travel to. There's a lot of open areas, but there are also closed areas where you need to go to at different moments of the story. To explore the world, you will need key items or tools that you can use in diverse ways, like for example, a slingshot or a bow. These items are found as part of mini dungeons called dojos that are part of the Thieves Guild that you belong to. So at different moments in the game will require you to go back to the academy or to the guild and complete these dojos to get these tools and be able to progress forward. The objective of these dojos is for you to get in, find a new tool, and use the tool to get out. And this takes us to the platforming. In this game, you will have your typical platforming where you jump from one platform to the other, but it also has wall climbing, which lets you go up the walls or run from one side to the other. The thing I really liked about this is that the character goes up the wall like a cat, so it's fast and snappy, and it allows the player to keep the momentum going. As you progress through the game, other platforming elements are added, and they manage to keep the platforming challenging and engaging. In regards to the sneaking mechanics, as you explore areas you will find enemies, and here is where the stealth and battle mechanics come into play. For the most part, the game incentivizes stealth gameplay. Stealth consists mostly of crouching to not make noise, and attacking enemies while they cannot see you. If they see you, you will have to engage in combat or hide. Combat is very straightforward. You have a 3-hit combo or a charge attack to attack your enemies. And you can also use some of the tools that you find in the dojo to engage in combat. In terms of puzzles, the game features some environmental puzzles where you may have to press switches to open doors or interact with different aspects of a stage in a specific way to complete a stage. Besides the dojos and the open areas, the game also features some bigger dungeons. They have more complex platforming challenges and even boss fights. These are distinct and feature different biome characterizations and aesthetics. These dungeons, alongside the dojos, feature a lot of verticality and open spaces inside of the dungeon as part of the level design. In terms of enemy variation, I would have to say that it's fairly limited. You will mostly find either robots or pirates, and besides that you will find the bosses of the game which have more variety. The game also features open water exploration which you unlock later in the game, and it's fast and it feels very good to control. Zefyr, A Thief's Melody takes around 10 hours to complete. So let's talk about the pros and the cons of this game. And I'm gonna start out with the cons first. I have 3 critiques for this game. The first one is that the story structure and presentation lacks emotional impact. The way the different story moments are presented feel a little bit dull and unengaging. It doesn't help that even the main quest is in a way subdivided into subquests that give off a feeling as if you were always doing side quests. A better story presentation with more focused story moments would have helped to flesh out the way the main quest is divided and presented. My second critique is that the game loop structure of the game disincentivizes exploration. My critique here is that the tools that you need to advance the story are in the dojos, and these open up at specific moments in the story, and the game lets you know. The problem is that when you are exploring the main story dungeons, there is not much incentive to explore within them because most of the stuff you will find is just collectibles. There are additional special items in the game that affect gameplay, but they are scattered throughout the game and not in the main dungeons. Because of this, exploration of the main dungeons boils down to me trying to get to the end of the dungeon as soon as possible. And I feel like it takes away from the gameplay experience in a way. And last but not least, the game has pacing issues. The game starts off a little bit aimless and slow. A few hours into the game is when it starts coming together. The issues with the story and gameplay loop structure, which I mentioned before, overflows to this point because they still hold the pacing down. Even when the game gets going and it's engaging, you will have to interrupt the main quest to complete a dojo to get to the next item to continue the main quest. And the story will still feel a little bit empty because of the presentation. The game would have benefited from integrating the tools you find in dojos as part of the rewards of the main story dungeons and as part of the important moments in the main story. So let's talk about the pros of this game, and I have 2 of them that I feel like really carry the experience throughout. First of all, the visuals. The vibrant colors, the cel-shaded aesthetics, the cartoony feel of the game really does a lot for the experience. And I feel like it's one of the elements that kept me engaged while I was playing. And the second one, out of all the gameplay elements, the platforming in this game is superb. The mix of wall climbing, jumping, and using different environmental aspects and tools to explore a level and advance is super fun, and it really gets you engaged, and it helped me get through the game having a lot of fun in the process. So in conclusion, Zefyr, A Thief's Melody is a game that manages to do a lot with its building blocks. Simple battle and stealth mechanics are complemented by some pretty cool and progressively challenging platforming sections that really engage the player. The gameplay alongside the beautiful visuals manage to cook up a plate that any Zelda or platformer lover will enjoy. For this reason, I recommend Zefyr, A Thief's Melody for the PC. The game is available on Steam and on itch.io. The link to the game's page will be in the description. So go check it out and show this single developer some love, because that's quite a feat. So that's going to be my non-spoiler review for Zefyr, A Thief's Melody. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Hi everyone, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to keep up to date with our content.